Big news last week was that on UFC Tonight on Fox Sports 1, Wednesday night, Dana White was on, and he told Daniel Cormier, essentially to his face, screen to face, that Ryan Bader wasn't next for him, that it would be Alexander Gustafsson, the same Alexander Gustafsson who was coming off a knockout loss to Anthony Johnson. He didn't go into it all that much, but he said that that's what they were looking at. Had to have Ryan Bader on to talk about this. We had him on not that long ago prior to UFC 187. We spoke to him after the altercation, if you will, at the post-fight press conference. It seemed like a no-brainer at the time, but that doesn't appear to be the case right now. So let's talk to Ryan about all of this. Ryan, are you there?
I'm here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. When did you find out that the UFC was leaning in the direction of Alexander Gustafsson as opposed to you?
Well, I gave Dana White a call, when was it, last Friday, or I can't remember which day, but I talked to him and just kind of asked him. I said, hey, just be honest, let me know what's going on. I want to know where we're headed as far as who we're fighting next, if we're getting a title shot. And he told me that kind of looking at Rashad and I, and that Gustafsson, they're looking at Gustafsson putting him in there for the title. So it was surprising for me, definitely. And then seeing it come out and just what you're talking about, them saying that they're targeting that, it was definitely surprising.
What was your reaction? Like, what did you say to him? Because, now we're several days removed, so I'm sure you've calmed down a little bit. But when you were first told that Alexander Gustafsson coming off a knockout loss was getting the title shot, how did you react?
Well, when I talked to Dana, I kept pleading my case on why I should get it. And I just didn't think it made sense. You got a guy coming off a knockout loss to the guy that just got submitted, and he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. I got a 4-fight win streak going on. I've been fighting top 10 caliber guys. Gus is a great fighter. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. But he just doesn't deserve that shot right now, coming off a loss like that.
And you told that to Dana. What was his response?
The whole conversation with Dana was just basically me, kind of pleading my case and him kind of telling, Gus deserves it, and he's had a couple chances, and we need to put him in there. So, that was pretty much it. I can't remember the whole conversation, but it was just, I was just surprised and kind of just keep telling him why I deserve it. But, at the end of the day, I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. Whether whoever has to fight next, whether it's Rashad or anything, go out there and beat them. They can't deny me after that.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. When you weren't, when you found out that Daniel Cormier was being taken out of your fight to go fight Anthony Johnson at UFC 187, and you told the world you want a title shot, and you certainly had a case, to make there. Were you told if you sit out, if you don't take any other fights on June 6th or maybe a month or two later, that you would be getting a title shot?
No, I was never told that, no.
But you took that chance?
What's that?
Did you take that chance? Did you say, look, I'm not going to accept any fight, Glover, whatever, because I want to take the chance. I want to be there ready for the winner of the 187 title fight?
We did say that we wanted to fight the winner of Cormier. Yeah, we did definitely say that. And, we were never offered any fights or anything like that either. So, we were waiting. We showed up at the fight. We wanted to kind of see, obviously, what was going to happen in that fight and then go forward from there. And, a couple weeks went by. And like I said, I just picked up the phone, called Dana, and then, that's when I figured that out a couple of days before it got released to the public. And so, for us right now, I was fought since January. Wanted to fight Cormier in June. Obviously, that didn't happen. And so, now it's just more months off here, just waiting and waiting, It looks like I'll fight Rashad. That's an awesome fight. We like that fight. Obviously, we like the title shot, but we'll see what happens. I guess they say the targeting Gustafsson, so who knows? Maybe people can get in UFC's ear and turn it around.
Yeah, well, it seems like you have a lot of people backing you on this. I'm wondering if you now regret not fighting this past weekend in New Orleans, just to remain active, because who knows? Rashad told me that he's hoping to return in September, but you never know. Maybe there's no slot. He's coming off a knee injury. Do you wish you kind of took a fight against a Glover just to remain active?
Oh, absolutely. And watching those fights where I was supposed to be fighting, in fact, I do wish I took a fight, that being said, the title shots don't come around that often, so we took that chance and seeing if we could get that. And it kind of backfired, but we're in a good position right now regardless. Like I said, I want to win streak here, fighting tough guys. The next fight's going to be one of those, top 5 kind of guys like a Rashad probably. And then after that, I go out there and beat him. I don't think you can deny it at all. But I do wish I was fighting and staying active.
Did they tell you that? Did they tell you that, Rashad is the guy who makes sense, that's what they want, and that if you beat him, there'll be no denying you a title shot?
No, they didn't say that. They, basically kind of the same thing, looking at Rashad and myself fighting in September whenever he comes back. And that was pretty much it, go out there and beat him, and you got a strong case. That's what was told to me. So all we can do here is just sit and wait, and, I just keep training, and wish I would have fought, Saturday, but we kind of rolled the dice, and it didn't happen.
I know you said that they never told you were getting the title shot, but after what happened at the post-fight press conference, I mean, that little incident there has almost 1 million views on our YouTube page and many others as well. Did you kind of think you had it in the bag?
Yeah, I did, to be honest, and then, we were supposed to fight already. I was good enough to fight him then. Why not now? And so that's kind of how I'm looking at it. You never know, but, my team and I really thought we had that. So it's definitely, it's disappointing, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. And all I can do is just go prove myself more.
Did that take a lot out of you? Because what made it so special, what made it so unique was that we've never really seen you do something like that. What happened at the press conference. Did you say to yourself, all right, I need to do something drastic here to get everyone's attention, to get everyone on this bandwagon? Was that a hard thing for you to pull off?
Well, it wasn't fabricated. It wasn't,
right,
no.
It just, I'm not implying that.
No. It got me fired up, and I've never, felt disrespected like that from an opponent before fights or anything. And so that's where that was kind of coming from. Did it help? A little, but in the end, it didn't, So, we're sitting here without a title fight, and Gustafsson got it. So, I was fired up at Cormier and had some animosity, but now it looks like we're not gonna obviously fight for the title, and we'll see down the road. So I got to move on, either thinking about somebody else or Rashad or my next opponent, and just move past that whole deal.
Do you think Cormier is happy about this, that he doesn't have to fight you and has to fight, a guy who's known for his striking?
I thought I matched up really well with Cormier and give him problems that other people haven't really given him. I don't know. I think he can go in there and beat Gus and use his wrestling. So I definitely felt that I was a more dangerous fight for sure.
So do you think that this is something that maybe he was campaigning for behind the scenes?
No, I mean, he went out there, won the belt. He's going to fight for whoever, and I'm sure he wanted to fight me. We've had some words, and it got heated a little bit. So I don't think he's out there, campaigning for Gus or anything like that. He was just kind of given to him, and what can he do? He's a champ, and so here's who we fight next.
What do you think this says about, the state of title shots in the UFC? Do you think this is, a real black eye, that a guy who, has won 4 in a row is passed up for a guy who's coming off a knockout? Or do you understand to a degree why they want to do this? Because, DC wins, you have that rematch with Jones. Gus wins, you have that rematch with Jones. Do you think that's what it's all about, or do you think that there's another reason for this?
Coming from our background as wrestlers, we go out there and winning is everything. So we kind of approach it like that, and approach this as a sport. But at the end of the day, also you have to look at it as an entertainment business also. Mm-hmm. So for me, do I understand? Kind of, but, for me going forward, it's do I go out there and not use what I'm the best at, usually wrestling? Do I go out there and just, stand and bang with everybody and have those fights now? Because is that what they want to see? I know people want to see that, but is that going to get you a title shot, even coming off of losses and everything? So it's kind of puts you, as a fighter in a weird little place, because winning is everything to us, but at the same time, you got to have exciting fights and keep pushing it that way. And it's obvious now. You get a title shot coming off of a loss and 1-2 in the last 3 fights. And like I said, he's an awesome fighter, no doubt about it. But at this particular time, he doesn't deserve this title shot.
So do you think you will fight differently? Let's say it is against Rashad. And, that kind of reminds me of the Phil Davis matchup, although, Rashad beat him. And I think a lot of people would say that he's a better MMA fighter. Who knows how he, rebounds from this long layoff. But do you now have to change the way you fight in order to get a title shot, in your opinion?
Maybe. It sucks. But, maybe I go out there and take more chances and open up more. I know I can. I've shown it in other fights. But, and maybe that is what is needed. Go out there and not only beat Rashad, but make an exciting fight. So it may a little bit. It may just I'll go out there and take some more chances.
Do you have any idea when this fight may happen? Like, did they give you a better time frame than what I was given? Rashad.
Yeah, no, just waiting on Rashad. He's coming out that knee surgery, so they said September or October. And that's it's a little ways off. We were supposed to fight here in June, and I lived up to my obligations. Cormier got pulled. What could I do? And now I'm waiting longer and longer. And so kind of sucks to be in the spot right now, but we'll make the best of it. Like I said, I'm not going to cry about it. Just put in the work and look forward to if it's Rashad or whoever.
What kind of reaction have you seen, or have you even looked at it? I don't know. You weren't very active on Twitter when all this happened. Have you seen people, trying to stick up for you and make the case on your behalf? I've certainly seen it, but I'm wondering what you've seen.
No, definitely. And on my Twitter and all that, and in the media, people definitely have my back, and I think they kind of see through the whole thing of, they don't see how Gus can get this shot. And I think he even did an article or something that he was surprised that he got the shot. He had no idea.
Yeah.
So there are people rallying around a little bit, but I don't know if that's enough to change their mind on this particular title shot.
When you found out, did you have to take a break from MMA for a second? Like, mentally, were you kind of, so mad that you didn't want to think about the sport for a second? Because I would imagine you worked so hard to get to the position that you were in. And I know it's weird circumstances. We can't forget the fact that John, is on hiatus, whatever, and new champion. But I thought I would have bet a lot of money after what happened at that press conference that you were getting that title shot. How do you process all of that?
It sucked. And like you said, I stayed off social media, just kind of shut down on MMA for a little while. I was a little jaded for a couple of days there. But like I said, I'm not going to cry about it. What can I do but just to keep proving myself? I thought we had it. Been thinking about Cormier for a long time now. You're supposed to fight here in June. I knew about that fight, 3-4 months ago. That gets pulled. But then I'm thinking I'm fighting him again for a title shot this time, and then they throw Gus in. So, I was a little jaded a little bit. Still am, but what can I do? Yeah.
Do you think that if your win over Phil Davis was more dominant, one-sided, not even a finish, but just more one-sided, that you would gotten the shot, or do you think that Gustafsson, because of the history with Jones, was going to get it regardless?
I don't know. Now looking at it, you go out there and dominate Phil Davis, and like I said, make it more an exciting fight, and then maybe they can get in there. But I don't know if there's other plans that they want. They want Gustafsson in there in case Jones comes back, and you can sell that fight, or you can sell the Cormier Jones fight also. So. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks.
Yeah. Safe to say that you're rooting for DC, though? Is that the fight that you want eventually?
Yeah, I would love to fight DC. We're supposed to schedule the fight a couple times, and I've watched so much tape on him. I've, coaches dissected him, the whole deal, and so I definitely would like him to go out there and, win. I beat Rashad or whatnot, and then I get the next shot.
Have you seen him parading with the belt? Is any of that annoying you?
I haven't even paid attention, no.
Okay.
Has he been?
Yeah, I mean, he's happy, and I can't blame him, but I was wondering if, given your history and what happened, if that was getting under your skin at all. Because he continued, even on UFC Tonight, when Rashad said that he wanted to fight you, he said, of course, you're the easiest guy in the division. He went back to that line.
He's thrown that line out a lot, yeah. I kind of just shut off when I stopped thinking about him after the whole deal with with Gus getting it. I just kind of moved on. Not going to keep bickering with them if it's for nothing.
Right. Final thing for you, and we appreciate the time very much. I'm wondering if you have a deadline in your mind. Like if Rashad can't come back by a certain time, are you just going to take any kind of fight just to remain active? You have to make money, right? It's your job.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, if Rashad can come back in September, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
I think that's the earliest he can. So September would be good. But you never know. He's had 2 knee surgeries there. What happens? We're going through a training camp. He gets hurt again. I would definitely step in there and just fight a fight just to get paid, just to stay active. And it doesn't matter who it is.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck and really commend you on how you're dealing with all of this because,
appreciate it.
Again, I think a lot of people, including myself, were surprised. And also, again, nothing against Alex, as you mentioned, great guy, great fighter. It just seemed like, you win 4 in a row, you lose your last via knockout. It's kind of a no-brainer, but we've learned countless times over that sometimes no-brainers in MMA aren't exactly no-brainers. There are different factors involved. But I commend you on how you are dealing with all of this, and I wish you the best of luck if you do fight Rashad, and best of luck in trying to get that title shot sooner rather than later.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Ryan Bader stopping by. Great stuff from him. A tough spot, but he is certainly dealing with it as well as he can. I mean, you don't want to come out and start complaining and pouting. I mean, no one ever really takes to that very well. But I certainly was surprised. And I saw some people after talking about it on the MMA Beat saying, why are you hating on Alexander Gustafsson? I am not hating on Alexander Gustafsson. I have a lot of respect. I think he's a tremendous fighter, and I understand why you want to put him in the position of potentially fighting John Jones as soon as possible. Let's not forget, he was supposed to fight John Jones not that long ago. Unfortunately for him, he got injured. And then DC came in, and then we got the fight after, John suffered that knee injury. We got it in January. He was supposed to get that title shot. We know this. And a lot of people thought he was going to get it after their first fight. He took a fight against Jimmy Manuwa, waited, and unfortunately for him, he got injured. I have a lot of respect for him. I loved that fight. That was one of my favorite fights of all time. The first Jones-Gustafsson fight, the only Jones-Gustafsson fight. But I think, and we've seen this before. Let's not pretend that we haven't seen people coming off of losses get title shots. We've seen this before. Frankie Edgar got it. Miesha Tate got it. Nick Diaz got it. That's just in the last few years. But none of those were, brutally knocked out, viciously knocked out in the first round. I know Miesha, she was finished, but it was a pretty close fight up until that point. And, to be honest, she made a case for it. She made a case for the stoppage being early. I want to say hello, by the way, to Daniel Cormier, who's telling me that he's watching the show from Mexico right now as we speak. Hello, DC. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I invited him to call in, but I guess it's too expensive to call in from Mexico. In any event, Gustafsson losing the first round, I just thought they're going to give him a fight, perhaps against the Rashad Evans, try to get him back on track, and then the winner of that fight makes total sense. I mean, Rashad rematch, Gustafsson if he wins. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Just after what happened between Bader and DC, the post-fight press conference, I just thought, wow, this is perfect. You can't buy that kind of promotion. It was perfect. You never know how these things go, as I said, and you never know how these things will end up. Crazier things have happened. People get injured along the way. Guys pull out. Who knows? Ryan Bader has put himself in that spot. He's put himself in that conversation, which is something he hasn't done in the past. So now he appears to be one fight away, barring a John Jones comeback that could set things back a little bit. And he's certainly knocking on that door if someone pulls out. Kudos to him, though, for the way he's handling all of this.